Alrighty, let's go ahead and open this up. This should be the last of the RAM for the server. I kind of wish that I had done this for everything for the server. Unfortunately, I was just so excited to get the parts and build it that I just went ahead and opened everything and put things together as it all came in. But let's get this out of the way. Yes, I opened the boxes upside down. I do that for two reasons. Number one, to keep the shipping labels intact in case I need them, and number two, so that the camera doesn't see it. Okay, there we go. Looks like that is our RAM. Video might be a little stuttery, not sure why. But if it is, I apologize. Okay. Alright. Okay. So this should be another 64 gigabytes of RAM. Hopefully it all works. The other RAM that is in the server is pretty much the same sticks as these. It's just a slightly different revision. I could not find another kit. Okay. I could not find another kit that matched the exact revision of my RAM. And this lot showed up for $200. So I just went ahead and jumped on it with the RAM pricing right now. And with them being very close revisions, I just went ahead and said, screw it, I will take my chance with it. But there we go. Another 64 gigabytes of ECC DDR4. Just look to make sure to see if all these sticks match. Looks like they do, which is awesome. I do have a plan in the event that they don't like playing nice on each CPU, because for the best reliability, if it's stable, you want to have 4 of these sticks on one CPU and then 4 of your mismatched sticks on the same CPU. That way they're evenly distributed between the two CPUs for the most reliable setup, provided it's all stable. If it does give me issues, then all of one revision of RAM will go on one CPU, all of the other revision of RAM will go on the other CPU. Theoretically, if it wasn't stable before, that should make it stable. It's just there is a slight chance that one CPU may have slightly faster RAM than the other, which could cause issues, but less likely if they don't want to play nice on one CPU. So yeah, let's go ahead and install this RAM. Alright, we currently have the server machine laid down on top of the NAS. Is that the safest option? No. Is it the room that I have currently? Yes. So we're just gonna roll with it. Let's just go over the inside of this server real quick. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Quadro K6000 on the bottom. I found one for $50 and it has 12 gigs of VRAM. Titan X Pascal, because it has 12 gigs of VRAM. Then, you know, dual CPUs, current RAM situation, and I will explain all this while I'm taking stuff apart here. Now, unfortunately, to get to all the RAM slots here, I do need to remove the fans. So, well, I need to remove the heat sinks, but in order to remove the heat sinks, I do need to remove the fans. I can get to these RAM slots, I cannot get to the ones over there, which is kind of necessary. LTTstore.com. Very powerful magnet. Now most of... Okay. See if I can remember which way I'm turning here. I did not. Maybe I did. There we go. I do genuinely love the LTT screwdriver. It is very nice, in my opinion. We basically just want to very carefully loosen these up, hopefully evenly, that way it doesn't just pop off from one side or whatever. There's one. There's two. Okay. Looks like my thermal paste application was about perfect. Just about perfect. These tower coolers are just Thermalright. I forget what the exact name for them is. I'm sure I already went over it when I was talking about the specs earlier in the video. But they're just Thermalright twin tower coolers. They were like 30 bucks each or something. Fantastic coolers. The CPU number 1 here, like, hits 40, 45 under full load. CPU number 2, which is this one here, hits 50, is like about the max temperature. You gotta remember, you have the heat from this CPU going over to the heat on this CPU here. So, you know, one CPU will always be warmer than the other one, but it's fine. So, there we go. Looks like the application on this one was also perfect, pretty much. That is awesome. So, now, in order for us to know what memory channels to use for this new configuration, let's go ahead and zoom in here. It tells you on the motherboard which DIMM is DIMM 1, DIMM 2, and DIMM 3. And what you may notice here is that standard motherboards for a LGA 2011-3 socket will have 12 RAM slots. Sorry, we'll have 8 RAM slots, 4 channels, and each channel can handle 2 sticks. This one actually has 12 RAM slots for each CPU / 24 RAM slots total. That is because on this system, each memory channel actually has 3 slots instead of 2. You want to fill every channel evenly, obviously. So, you know, either have 4 sticks of RAM, 8 sticks of RAM, or 12 sticks of RAM per CPU. But yeah, you can put a lot of RAM into this thing, and it was designed this way for you to be able to fill it with, like, I think it was 1.5 terabytes of memory or something like that. You could get 32, maybe even 64 gig load reduced DIMMs, and fill each slot up with 64 gigabytes to give you some ridiculous amount of RAM. The only issue is, if you have, let's see, 16 slots filled up here. Okay, it runs at quad channel speed with all that RAM. Now, if you load up all 24, all the memory channels are still being utilized, but it's basically running the same speed as dual channel, essentially. You're still using all the RAM, you're still using all of the RAM, all of the DIMMs and all of the slots, but it has the effective speed of dual channel because of the overhead from using that third slot per channel. I don't think I'm going to need to use the third slots for each channel, but if I do, the possibility is there. Now, let's go ahead and get into putting this RAM in. So why did I go this route for this server? Well, there's a handful of reasons. Number one, I've always wanted to build a dual socket system. It's just always been a hope of mine that one day I would be able to do something like this. Number two, it's just a lot of CPU cores. It's 40 cores and 80 threads. There is lots of room for activities with a setup like that. Especially now that I'm filling this out with 128 gigabytes of RAM. I'm very happy. 2 graphics cards just in case I need to use 2 at the same time for whatever reason. They are here. If I need to upgrade the K6000 at some point, so be it. I got the card for 50 bucks. So yeah, let's go ahead and start putting our RAM in. Let's try to match up the way that it's keyed. Trying to look around a camera as well. Okay, there's one. Another thing about this motherboard that I like is it has 4 Ethernet ports on it, which lines up with the fact that I have enough drives in this thing to handle 3 virtual machines plus the native program that it's running, whatever you want to call that. I am running Windows on it for the moment. That's just simply because it's familiar. I know how to use it and I know how it works. I'm open to using something else at some point, but for the moment I just want the thing to work because I haven't had a server that just works in a long time, to be honest with you. Alright, now this is going to be a little harder for me to see, but if I cock my head at an angle here, it should be alright. Actually, let me do these harder ones first, because these are definitely harder for me to see. I also have the RAM stick backwards. But yes, I have 4 SSDs and 4 hard drives in here. And that is so that each instance has an SSD and a hard drive to utilize. The main drive, the main SSD for the server, the main instance, the Windows install, the thing that's running everything else, is a 480 gig SATA SSD. There we go. 480 gig SATA SSD with a 3 terabyte hard drive, and then 3 of the virtual machine slots. I'm calling it slots because I can have up to 3 in here. 3 of the virtual machine slots are running, or I guess all 3 are running 128 gigabyte SSDs. 2 of them have access to 1 terabyte hard drives, so 1 terabytes each. And then I also have a 500 gig hard drive in here. Opened the wrong one. I also have a 500 gig hard drive in here for that last virtual machine. So each virtual machine has an SSD and a hard drive dedicated to it once I fill them out. And you know, you may be thinking, for the stuff that I'm currently running is Plex, 4 game servers, and Steam cache. And you're probably thinking, you do not need this much power for that. And you are completely right, okay? The reason this is called Theme Park Server is to be able to do a little bit of everything, to be able to handle anything that I throw at it, whether it's video editing, video encoding, video rendering, virtual machines. You know, I can open up a virtual machine, install whatever I want, and if I screw it up, I won't have to worry about it. It's all on its own drives in a virtual setting. I shouldn't have to touch this server for a very long time, especially now that I have upgraded it to 128 gigabytes of memory, provided it works. Knock on wood. So yeah, we also have a 1,000-watt power supply in this thing. And yeah, I'm not going to show you the back because it is not clean. And I am also going to do something that is about to trigger a bunch of people. We are going to pop the heat sinks directly back on without changing the thermal paste, because there is so much mounting pressure that it does not matter. There won't be any air bubbles in there. I will get the exact same temperatures. It's actually fine. And this thermal paste, here we go. This thermal paste was installed in here 3 weeks ago. It's fine. Nothing's gonna explode. Nothing's gonna overheat. It's thermal paste. And decent thermal paste at that, mind you. Just want to make sure you got even pressure. Bounce between the two. Star pattern in a straight line. You know. the usual things. Make sure to get your logos however you want them. And the reason I went a fan on the outside, and then a fan in the middle, and then a fan on the middle, and then a fan on the outside is, number one, a fan will not fit in here. Number two, even if I could fit a fan in here, I wouldn't, because it does block airflow for a portion of the fan if you have it offset in here. So I put a fan on the outside, in the middle, and then the middle, and the outside, because there is technically more room for air to move around that way. Also, realistically, having it set up like that means that once the air goes through this tower, it can disperse this way a little bit, and less of the aura of the warm air is focused into the next one. You know, I believe these are intake, so you do have fresh air coming in from here that can make it into this stack. And we also have this fan here so that it can go in here and then make its way out. You know, it's not like it's getting completely recycled air coming in here and going directly into here. There is some fresh stuff from these fans up here coming in and doing their thing. We also have 3 fans up front here, so it is a wall of air coming through here to the CPU, to the graphics cards, and to the drives down below here. I am going to put these fans in while I'm not recording, because they are very fiddly and I need to be able to see from a certain angle and the camera's in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Alrighty, here we are. All 128 gigabytes of our RAM is installed. I'm gonna turn it on, have it connected to our display here. See what happens. After first turning on the power supply. Or plugging the power switch back in after it appears that it had popped out while I was messing with the heat sinks. Here we go. Power on. Hey, here we go. Okay, let's see if there's a RAM test. I think there is. Okay, alright, we have postcodes. It just did them. It has done its memory training, I believe. And it's currently testing different fan zones, I believe. As we can hear with the fans ramping up and down, it is going over devices currently. We'll be into the BIOS here real soon, as it's still figuring out its fan zones. It's detecting a change in the hardware, so it is going to be doing that for a little bit. Alrighty, here we are in the BIOS, and we can see down here 128 gigabyte. There we go, 128 gigabytes of memory. Speed is wrong. Let's go ahead and fix that. Chipset. North bridge. Memory frequency 2133. Alright, that should be the only setting I have to do. What I will also do though is let you guys take a look in here. So we have dual where is it at? Here we go. Xeon E5 2698 V4s, which have, don't think it's listed here, but it's 20 cores and 40 threads each for 40 cores and 80 threads. Let's go ahead and see if this will post with the new memory speed. And yeah, let's excuse me? There we go. Got ahead of myself. Alrighty. Love this computer. And it's already posting. Awesome. Alright, we'll see you when we are in Windows. I would also like to point out that because this second GPU is in here and it takes up so much room, it is cutting off most of the SATA ports on it. So over here, it's hard to see because I don't have a light over here, unfortunately. I do have a, I think it's a mini SAS cable connected up to the onboard SAS controller. And that is what all of the hard drives are connected to. All the SSDs are connected to the motherboard with the 4 ports that are still accessible underneath this graphics card. Alright, we have everything in place. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it fired up. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. There is a USB 3 Wi-Fi stick here. This is because the server is connected to Ethernet, but it's connected via a wireless bridge to the other side of the house. because there's no way to get cable to this side, or there's no way to get Ethernet over to this side of the house. It gets about 700 megs download, and I think 500 upload, something like that. But yeah, that's why I do have this Wi-Fi stick here, so that if for some reason the bridge goes down, it can connect over Wi-Fi and still have a connection. But yeah, let's do more fan training. I will come back once we are fully posted and do some Cinebench runs. Alright, here we go. We are posting. For anyone curious, yes, this is a 3D printer on top of the NAS. It's the only place I can put it. And yes, I do use it to hold the keyboard and mouse when it's not doing 3D printer things. It honestly works very well because it can be out of the way when I don't need it, and then when I do need it, I can just bring it forth, right? Okay, the only caveat is that every time I need to go 3D print, well, number one, the mouse and keyboard go here when I'm not using it. Yes, it can still get some air under this. It's what I have to work with at the moment. There's not a whole lot of space here. Anyway, when I need to use the 3D printer, yes, this stuff has to be moved down there. The other caveat is that I need to level the bed every time. On the bright side, this printer has auto bed leveling, but like that's besides the point. Hey, look, the server's up. We can stop judging the printer. Alright, yes, I am aware that this monitor is very not perfect anymore. Here we go. R15, just for the moment, we are running this off of the NAS. So, loading time is slightly longer, but not a whole lot at all. Alright, so we are going to do the CPU score in 3, 2, 1. It's gonna chew through this like it's nothing. Yep. Yep. And we're done. It's in between the two scripts that are already on here. That's fair enough. I did not expect anything crazy. We're also gonna run the single-threaded score just cause and see what happens. I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty much the exact same as the last score that this gave. While this is doing its thing, I would like to point out 40 cores, 80 threads. Or I guess up here would be, yeah, 40 cores, 80 threads. Don't know why that says Windows 8. It's so weird. I think Cinebench R15 just like can't see Windows 10 or something. I don't know. It probably can. It's probably something weird. I don't know. I have had this install of Cinebench R15 for literally years. Like, we have scores dating back to, oh, let's see, a bunch from my 2600S, a bunch from my 3770K. Got my E5, got that one there. Got this one for my bedroom PC. Got my 3700X. Got my 18 core there. Yeah, no, there's a lot of scores on this thing. Is that my laptop? That might be my laptop. I thought there was more. Maybe not. I don't know. Point is, it's an old install of Cinebench R15. And it is, in fact, the exact same score as before, 152. Alright, let's open... no, because it's nothing crazy. R23. And then we will test R23, and then that'll be it for this portion of the video. Whenever it loads. There it goes. Alrighty, here we go. Time duration is off. Multi-core in 3, 2, hold on. Looks like the last score was a 28449. Go. Let's see what we get here. I'm assuming it's going to be slightly lower. I did a little bit of tuning type thing in order to get the scores that's already on there. So we'll see if this is any better. Probably not. I'm more so just trying to see if the scores drop any, like anything crazy. I don't think they will, but we'll see. And it is done. Ooh. Okay. That one is significantly better. So I don't know if Cinebench R23 benefits from more RAM or not. But yeah, there's that. Awesome. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at the new server machine. I just want to say some stuff real quick, okay? I am aware that this server is not power efficient, okay? I am aware that with more money, you could do the same type of thing much better. I am aware of all of this, okay? I've just always wanted to build a dual CPU system from this type of era, and I love owning this thing. I truly do. This computer is absolutely awesome to me. It's an absolute powerhouse of its time, and it still can do so much today, and I love this thing. I don't think I would have done anything different about this build. Maybe a different case. That's probably it. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.